All right, what is up, everybody? Bang, bang, bang. We are live. How's it going? I'm late. You ever been late before? Never happened to you? Because it happened to me. What's up, man? How the fuck is everybody? Not seeing my chat right away, but I hope that's not gonna be a problem. How's it going, man? We're doing Roommate Stories again. Couple of stinking episodes in a row, couple of stinkers, and I'm going to choose to believe that was my fault for the topics I was picking and not your guys' fault, because all you're doing is watching, and that's all I can really ask of you. Besides calling, which you should call. Go ahead and call in 540-583-4464. That's 540-JUDGING. We are telling roommate stories. Bro, I've had some fucking shitty roommates. I told a lot of roommate stories the last episode we did this topic on, but guess what? I still have some. I had like a string of bad roommates in a row, which is basically any roommate is a bad roommate. I've had like one good roommate my whole life. But this dude, he moved in. He was like a friend of a friend, and he seemed cool. We hung out with him several times. He seemed all right. This dude moved in. I found out he was like a few months out of jail. He'd been in jail. He'd already moved into my house, me, my wife, and one kid. I'm tripping. But it's whatever. Like, I don't care. Then I found out he's in jail because he beat up his mom, bro. He beat the shit out of his mom and went to jail. And that's what should happen to you. I wasn't the judge in that case, but I could tell you that if I was, it had been the same net result. So, like, and if you can believe it, after that, it didn't go so good. Like, but like the kicker in all of it is eventually, like within like 3.5 weeks, this fool moved out. And when he moved out, he trashed the whole house. There was like a Rite Aid cart in my living room. There was fucking trash everywhere. Like, he didn't take anything. He just fucked shit up. Like, and again, not even the worst roommate I've had. Close, but call in. Tell me about your roommate story. 540-583-4464. Yo, last time we did this, I was blackout drunk almost, and watching it back was fantastic. Not for me, but we did get a ton of calls, and it was like a really fun time. And somebody called and said they caught their roommate masturbating to child porn, and he called the cops. There was another person who said they found their roommate dead. So, like, I don't want to set the bar too high, but I am excited, you know? I gave mine last time. You know what, dude? You can only give so much. And you know what? I'd like to go out on a limb and say roommates can be anybody. You lived with your parents, right? They were your roommates. Your siblings, your siblings are some of the worst fucking roommates you've ever had. The only reason they're not the worst is because usually your parents also live there to keep you both in check. Otherwise, they'd be far and again the fucking worst roommates you ever had. I got on late and I am in the middle of eating dinner. If you guys see me eating Safeway sushi while we have this show, that's just how it's going to be. But, bro, the first time I moved in with my girlfriend, not my wife, but the girl I was dating at the time, we moved in with another couple that were her homies. It was a fucking nightmare, bro. Like, I just didn't grow up with money. And when I'm around people that did, they don't like me. I don't know. That's just been the common denominator. I didn't think that was why, but after a lifetime of this shit, I think that was probably it. They were also just fucking douches. Like, they just sucked. But after like several, they were like banging way too loud. Then like me and this bitch I were dating, we were like banging way too loud, like in like a revengeful way. It was like almost exactly like in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, I guess, but it was just to like annoy your roommate. Bro, So then, like, eventually it comes to a head where, like, yo, this has all got to stop. And I'm like, thank you. Yo, I have lived in some smelly houses and I've been to some smellier houses. But I got to tell you that when this other couple opened their room, it stunk up the whole house. And I don't think it was just from the section I was talking about. It was a general funk. Like, the smell was beyond musty, but overall very offensive. And I still think about it sometimes. But the kicker in all this shit was I broke up on a whim with this girl that I lived there with. And we lived there with her homies. So I was immediately going to be like, yeah, I'm going to move out. And that's it. But as soon as I like went to say it, she was like, okay, so I'll move back home and you can stay there. And I was like, what the fuck? So then I'm living there with this bitch's friends. Nobody is happy, like, in the situation, least of all me. Wacky stuff, bro. Wacky stuff. Have a really quick one about my dad. Yeah, bro. Feel free to call and tell me about your dad. Yo, when I moved back in with my parents as an adult, like after I had kids, we did it once. Like my parents were hella broke and I was like on the fringe of being like flat broke. And one of us was about to lose the spot we were living in. So we moved in together and I was pretty much bailing my dad out. But like I also needed a small amount of help. Like with my kids and shit, like there wasn't nothing. You know what I mean? It wasn't for nothing, but the tensions of like my parents and like also the stress of them being broke, like that they were just taking it out on everybody. Like it was a fucking shit show. Every day living there was like taxing. What's up, Drew? Thanks for calling, dog. How you doing?
What's up, man?
What's up?
Same old shit, just chilling, looking at you, man.
Glad you made it, even though I was late.
No, every time, man. Fucking, all right, so the quick one about my, quote unquote roommate, my fucking dad. So when I was a kid in like sixth grade, this motherfucker would like go out to bars and shit all the fucking time. So like, he'd come in randomly like after all was asleep and shit. And, so one fucking night, he comes in, it's about 1 something in the fucking morning. I know that because I have a little clock next to my bed. But he fucking cracks open the door, like, and there's this girl with him. And she just peers in, and, like, I wake up at this, and all I hear is, oh, my gosh, she's so cute. And I just hear my dad, yeah, now let me show you my bedroom. And then my door closes, and I was like, what the fuck? And I fucking wake up in the morning. I was like, so what was up with that? And he was like, oh, that was a social worker making sure you were okay. I'm like, bullshit.
Should have been like, Dad, you're fucking our social worker?
Yeah, fucking right. He would have been like, whoa.
That's fucking funny. It's funny you remember it still, too. Like, did you ever bring it up to him again later after you were an adult?
Oh, dude, I still bring it up. I'm like, oh yeah, like the social worker, right? And he's like, that's right, the social worker.
Yeah, it's funny to think about like his reaction to you even remembering that. You know what I mean? That's really funny. It's funny that like dads love to be pieces of shit and they will like still find any little way to do it. Like they can be moreover a really good dude, but like they remember being a piece of shit, so they just try to like slide it right in there.
No, he was kind of a, it was hit and miss.
That's all you can really hope for. That's as good as it gets.
I know. I'm not complaining about it. It definitely gave me a lot of funny stories around him. So one day, if you ever have like a stories about your parents kind of episode, I got a few for that.
Ooh, Parent Trap. I could do that. I'm sure that would be good ones.
All right.
Word. Well, thanks for calling, bro. That's a great suggestion. I'll have to put that in my topics list right
now. All right, man. Yeah, I'll keep watching, man.
All right. I'll see you. Thanks for calling again.
Yes, sir.
It's funny, like the shit you see your dad do when you're a kid and you don't even like register. Like I was just talking about this with my wife and my homie a couple days ago, but like we were coming back from a Giants game. My mom, my dad, and I was pretty young. I'm like 10 or 11. And my dad is like drunk as fuck and my mom is hella mad. And we're driving home and they were like, hey, we're going to stop at my friend's house for a second. And I'm just hella tired and I'm hella young. So I'm like, okay. And then like this house is completely dark and my dad's like going and knocking on the windows and he's like, hello, hello. And they were like, oh, we're trying to surprise our friend. This is like pre-cell, like not pre-cell phones, but like right at cell phone time. So like I later realized they were there to buy weed. Like they tried to show up at this dude's house they bought weed from and he was not there. But it just makes me think like buying drugs must used to be so hit or miss, like pre-cell phones. Fuck pre-internet, but pre-cell phones, like it must have been a nightmare trying to meet someone. It's not even easy to go buy weed from someone when you have their cell phone number and you guys can both be in text like connection the whole time. So like to think about like you calling them and being like, yeah, I'll be at the supermarket parking lot at 4 p.m. And they're like, okay, I'll see you there. And then like to think just later that day it happens, like absolutely not. So it must have been, you probably wouldn't want to meet these dudes at your house because people weren't as laid back as I am now, I don't think. I don't know. I guess it depends on who you're buying weed from as how careful you are. And I have the same system, so I get it. Call in though. Tell me your stories about a roommate. 540-583-4464. I'm sitting here eating sushi. Eating supermarket sushi. I think I've touched on this a couple times on stream, but I realize I probably shouldn't talk with my mouth full since I'm the only person talking. The first place I moved out to when I first moved out of my parents' house, I moved into like a 3-story, 100-year-old house with like 4 other dudes on the wrestling team and like 2 other pieces of shit that we knew. Just like a random ass group of people. And like, for whatever reason, like we were all like this house, like one of the dude's parents owned it and they just wanted some rent from all of us. And when you're not paying a lot of rent, we were not treating that place like we valued it very much. We fucked this place up, bro. But also it's like falling apart. It's like an old ass house that they didn't really like. They maintain this house like every landlord maintains the house, which is like when you call and say some shit has really been broken for a minute, they will send a tweaker over there to go fix it. And I guess I gotta post in the fucking Discord that we're live, right? What am I doing? Everyone live now. Roommate stories again. Yes, mention all 42 of them, motherfuckers. Because we just gotta get people in here to share roommate stories. You know what I mean? I have enough to fill a good amount of time, but it's like when it's like a large group, it's also like a rotating roster of people too. Like people would move in and out like every few months. I was even only there for like 6 or 7 months. Like one of the dudes that was on the wrestling team got in a fight with just one of the like an argument like with just one of the pieces of shit dudes. This dude was like, yo, he was like popping off on this dude, and I wanted to be like, yo, I happen to know you both, and I want to tell you this wrestler dude is gonna fuck you up if you try to fight him right now. Like I didn't want to say that because I wanted to see him get beat up. But he's like getting in his face, and he's getting in his face. He's like, fuck you, man, fuck you. He's getting in this dude's face, and I'm like, no, this wrestler dude's about to pop off. And all of a sudden, this wrestler full fucking headbutts this dude right in the mouth. As soon as contact takes place, this piece of shit that was instigating it is like, my dad's a cop. I'm going to call my fucking dad. Like, it was like a movie of a douche, like of a dialogue of a piece of shit. Like, absolutely. Like, he was like, I'm going to call my dad. You're going to get, like, he sounded like a real fuckstick. Like, absolutely. And he was one, but like, really came out of him. You know what I mean? 540-583-4464. This was like Also, like a couple of these dudes had like a rotation of random hosts coming through all the time. So that was also like its own source of entertainment. Like these girls would be arguing with each other. This house was like essentially a rundown house. First of all, it was like straight in the middle of the hood, but also like we were like rarely cleaning this shit. We were like, there were several holes in the wall. Like it was all kind, everything that could have been going bad was like, I was hella high one night watching movies and I was leaning against the wall, just sitting on my bed, and just like a whole dent of my body shape broke through this wall. Like, and I didn't tell anybody. I just didn't let anybody in my room. My door came off the hinges. I left it like that for like weeks, and I would just fucking wedge it in there until the knob clicked, and then I would like pull off, and then I would pull the whole shit off and go in later. And then I eventually fixed that. But like this whole house was like a fucking piece. It was as shitty as we were treating it. Like it was both. It was both. I just know that we're gonna get a bunch of good calls. So I'm just excited. Just excited, and I'm a little scared. Hey, go on, close the door. Love you. 1 second. Sorry, I had to say hello to a baby. Um, yeah, we're gonna get the roommate stories in here. If I have to post around, I will. I guess it's been a minute since I fucking texted around trying to rustle up some calls for this shit, but here we are. Go ahead and call. Here's the number. I'll stop reading it, but I forgot you lived with that lesbian couple. I forgot that was your story, bro. I'm telling you, the last time I did this topic, I was fucking hammered. Boop, 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 boop. I always forget to put the second M in roommates. Oh, you know what? I think I definitely know some people that are actually going to call for this. So let me 4464. That time it was for me. Copy. Now I'm going to send this shit to so many people. Like, first of all, I know Cheddar's supposed to be here right now. So you and Mario, bro. Yeah, bro. We were being that loud, and the mic wasn't even picking it up good. Like it could have been so much worse had I mic'd the scene correctly. Like it was almost like I did you guys a favor. Roommate stories, they're so good. Dude said he would think about some. I mean, I got to do this show drunk more. Honestly, it was a great time. I would get frustrated if it was like this and I was drunk though, but it. I would love to do another drunk stream. It'll happen. I get drunk on like every bank holiday. So any Monday show on a holiday, I'm gonna be fucking wasted. And Mario will probably be here. Like those will be when that happens. That's how that lines up. Doot, 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 doot. Just shooting a couple texts out. So I'm sorry if I'm being quiet for a second. My friend says he always wants to call in, but he's like sleeping during this time because he works at night. But I'm shooting him a text. Yo, I saw the Super Mario movie with my kids. I loved it. I mean, there were parts of the story that were like very basic, but it's also a kids movie, so I'm not going to be a douche about it. Like, there is room in kids movies for like a great story. You know what I mean? Like, very little of the story in like Shrek or whatever is like, oh, that's fucking dumb. Like, it's very little like eye rolling dialogue bridging loose story, which is fine. I'm not complaining. Again, it's fine. But like in the movie, like Mario meets Toad and he's like, let's go on an adventure. Like, there's no preamble or like they're just like, let's go. And it's fine. Like, I don't need to waste time on that. It was a good movie. I'm not going to spoil anything. It was good. You're going to love it. I loved it. I'm just talking shit to fill airtime, but it was honestly good. Do. Don't spoil it. You can't spoil a movie like that, I don't think. I mean, I guess like there's nothing in there that's going to be crazy. Nothing is going to be of a surprise to you, but that's not bad. It's funny, like I send out all these texts and then barely anybody hits me back until after the show. Then they're like, damn, I actually had a really good one. It happens literally every time I've done this. Um, my friend just said he's at the Kings game. I forgot that they're playing again tonight. I don't really keep up with basketball, but when the Kings are doing good, the whole city is abuzz. When you look downtown and you see the beam in the air, it's like we live on a spaceship. So, no, fuck yeah, you should be excited, dude. Mario is good. Mario's good. Call in. Tell me your roommate stories. We got people coming in and out. Call in. I'm here for you. 540-583. Let me judge your roommate stories. Let me hear about some wild roommate shit, bro. How about a cat eating man food? I for a while in that house where the dude in jail moved in, another roommate I had there for like a few months, he had the car he had was a smart car and he only had it because he won it in one of those like drop your info into a box at the mall things. Like he won a car at the mall. This dude fucking sucked too, but this was literally the only thing interesting about him was he won this car at the mall. Like, you never think you'd meet somebody that actually happened to. What's up, dude? Thanks for calling back.
Yeah, no problem, man. Figure I'd help you out with the dead air. Fucking. So this is not about like a roommate that I had, but that lesbian couple that I was staying with. This was after. Um, so while I was living with them, I kind of started seeing this girl that I was working with, and she was actually like my weed dealer. So for a while there, like I was getting my weed for free, which was pretty cool.
That sounds so cool.
But oh yeah, it sounds cool. And she was all right, but she's kind of a piece of shit. She's a bitch to like every fucking buddy for no fucking reason and shit, and just kind of like took advantage of people and would steal shit and manipulate. Like she was just, I guess, toxic. Just no, she was a bitch. Anyways, so fucking fast forward about a year later after I move out, she ends up like through a certain circumstance, like the girl she was living with had a health condition and she died. So she ended up moving in with the lesbian couple that I was staying with. And I told him, I was like, no, you fucking don't want her to live with you. She's going to fucking steal your shit. She's going to fucking lie to you. Like, I tried to fucking warn him. And so fucking about 6 months goes by. Like the first like few months were okay with her. But then, you know, they were like, oh, we noticed like little shit missing and we wouldn't know. And then, fucking eventually, like they put her on their phone plan and got her a phone and everything. And then one fucking night, like just they all fucking got drunk and shit just hit the fucking fan. Everybody was fucking airing out their own shit apparently, and so they get in a huge fucking argument. And they're because she was behind on rent too, like 2 months. So they were like, no, fuck that. We need you to fucking move out, give us back that fucking phone that we're paying for, because she hadn't given them money for rent or anything. And so she's like, no, I'm not fucking giving you back my fucking phone. I'm going to fucking call the cops. She ends up calling one of her fucking friends from the bar that she worked at, who was a fucking cop, to like fucking come up there in fucking uniform with his fucking car and be like, no, fucking, that's her fucking phone. It's in her possession, blah, blah, blah. Fucking made this whole fucking big ordeal about it. Threatened to take my fucking, my friends to fucking jail over it. So they let her fucking go for the fucking night. They let that chick fucking go. And then so about fucking 2 days later, like they haven't heard shit from her. Like they fucking go and look in her room, all her shit's just fucking gone. Like fucking even the phone, like, or no, she left the phone because she knew, I guess, that she couldn't fucking keep that. But she just fucking dipped. Like all her shit was fucking gone. And they said they fucking went in there. They were like, all the shit that she did leave, like up in the closet, like they're like, we went through that shit and dragged it out. We found so much shit of ours that fucking had been missing for like months. And I was like, all I could do is just like, I fucking told you. I told you not to fucking let her live there, and you fucking did.
It's funny, like, too, like, you're dating this broad. So for you to be like, yo, don't let her live here. She sucks. Like, that you would know. Like, you would know.
No, she was my ex at that point.
Oh, that's way worse. That's way worse that they did that to you. But also, like,
I mean,
them just disappearing one day, like, that's like a best case scenario for a shitty roommate. Like, you wake up one morning and they're just gone. Like, that's as good as it gets.
Oh, dude, I was prepared for her to like fucking drag this whole shit out. Like, okay, so the lady she was living with before, I shouldn't say lady, she was fucking my age. Like, we all worked together and shit, so she was living with her, and fucking, they were like buddy buddy and shit, went on trips and shit. But my ex, the one that I fucked over my other friends, she was fucking my other friend's like boyfriend, like girl that she was living with, she was fucking her boyfriend.
It's
Like
always
that
some shit
whole
like that,
fucking
bro.
time. Dude, and fucking lied to her face until like the last like month of her fucking life, like she finally found out. And she was such a sweet girl too. Like it's just, that was so shitty of her. Like, damn, I'm gonna fuck over the fucking dying girl.
That's crazy. You could have just waited, bro. You could have just waited it out.
Dude, fucking for real, goddamn.
Damn, that's crazy.
At that fucking point, shit.
It's actually such a shitty scenario. If I was you, I would have probably just moved out. As soon as my ex-girlfriend got moved into this apartment, I'm like looking for somewhere to go. Boom.
Oh no, no, I was gone at that point. This is like a year after I had moved out from the lesbian couple.
Oh,
Like
that's
then
funny. So you're
my
just
ex
watching it happen
girlfriend
like a movie.
like had moved in. Dude, yeah, I tried telling them beforehand, like, don't fucking let her in that house like that. They wouldn't fucking listen to me.
You did your best, bro.
They
That's
even
not your
told me
fault.
afterwards. They were like, oh, we should have listened to you. I said, yeah, I know.
I tried, guys. I
Next time.
tried. That's funny.
That's all you can do sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. Word. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man. See you.
God damn it. It's not easy being green. I feel like I have witnessed many times people's like roommate couples like or like for some reason if there's a couple and they don't live alone, cheating is going on. It doesn't even have to be with the other person that lives there. It's just in the air. Like I've seen so many couples split up that were like roommates of my friends, like shit like that. Like I don't know. I guess cheating is just common. I don't think the common denominator is that they were roommates. I think cheating is just really common, but something. There's just too much room for error. There's too much wiggle room, bro. Also, like when I was living in that house with all those dudes, like multiple dudes would like hook up with the same girl. There'd be like tension over it. One of the dudes ended up marrying one of those girls. Like it all got so messy in such a short amount of time. It was just too much going on. Like you're bringing your girl into like the wrong. It's not his fault. It's nobody's fault. It just happened. But like it was like a shark's den. Anything could have happened. Like I didn't even like bringing my girlfriend over there. Man. Roommate stories. Call the number up here 540 judging. We are doing it, man. We're doing it. I can tell you, as drunk as I was the last time we did this topic, I wish I was twice as drunk now. But I guess I can fucking smoke too. I don't have to just sit here and eat sushi. I can also do the other thing I like to do. Uh, like the big thing going on in town right now. Yo, also, I guess what I could do is I've always kind of wanted to go on Reddit and weigh in on Am I the Asshole posts, but I guess I don't really have it set up. Let me see. Boop, 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 boop. Check this out. Whoa, that's not what I meant to do. Oh, I've done it. Gonna make this look good. Does that look good? And I can just go ahead and feel free to call in if you have a roommate topic. I'm just checking this out for now. Okay. Am I ruining the proposal at a wedding? 20. This is fucking way too long. Guess what? I'm not reading that one. Refusing to give my wife's family a large portion of her life insurance money. Right off rip, without reading the scenario at all, if your wife dies, that money is yours and your kids. If you don't have kids, you don't owe her family any of that fucking money, even if they bought the policy. If you're the beneficiary, that money's for you. You're not the asshole. Don't give them the money. Bang. An asshole for not sharing my inheritance with my sister since my sister since chose to be adopted. What? Nope. No. No time to dig into that. Am I the asshole for getting someone banned from the gym over a 1 minute of workout? No, if somebody crosses you, you can fuck them over, especially in a benign way like that. Like if somebody made you mad for a minute, you probably want to beat the shit out of them. So if all you did was get them banned from the gym for a month, good for you, bro. You won. Am I the asshole for charging my daughter rent? My daughter is 16. Yeah, fuck you, bro. Recently got a job. She barely has any fucking money. And she's living at home because she's a fucking kid. So why take like a portion of what little money she has? You're a piece of shit. You're a fucking piece of shit. Boom. I'm ruling hard and fast on these, actually. I got to tell you. Oh, I was looking for the. First of all, the gavel is a 2-piece set, and I often lose this piece. It doesn't sound right if you don't hit it on this shit. So it's just all part of it. Am I an asshole for shouting at my girlfriend for giving away $110? You're an asshole for shouting at your girlfriend. I get mad at my wife all the time. I never shout at her. You're just an asshole if you're shouting at ladies. And also $110 isn't enough money to get mad about. Even $1,100, maybe. But $110. If you can't make up $110 that your girl gave away, then you fucking suck, not her. Then you suck, dog. Get your money up. You are the asshole. Still didn't sound good, I gotta tell you. Just not doing it for me. Am I the asshole for not covering up my boobs? Oh, sorry, that's not. Am I the asshole for not covering up my boobs when I saw my friend and her family on holiday? No, let them fly. Your tits. It's not your job to care about who's looking at your tits. It's just your job to have tits. You don't owe shit to anybody. Whip them out. I want to see them. I get excited. So, no, let them fly. You don't owe anybody anything, bro. Tits out. Just received another text message. You know what? I got to tell you, I've always, when I developed this show, I thought about doing this. I thought this was going to be like a large part of the show to do it like in between calls. And I ended up never doing it because we usually have a lot of calls. But the last couple episodes, we have not. So here we are. We're just making it work. You know what I mean? Okay. Am I the asshole for saying my terminally ill stepsister can't have my mom's engagement ring? Why do you care, bro? If she's about to die, you're going to get it back anyways. Like, it's taboo to think like that, and it's also taboo to work it out with her, but just be very clear, like, yo, bitch, you can have this shit for however long, and then as long as I end up with it, it's all good. Then you've been clear without being rude. She'll still probably screw you over, but, like, just help her out. She's gonna die, and you can have this shit anyways. I'm the asshole for not wanting to help pay for my child's university fees. Yes, you are. Help your kids. At minimum, that means money. At minimum, you should help your kids with money. If you have the ability to help your kids financially and you don't, you are a shitty parent. And when you say money isn't about, like, parenting isn't about money, this and that, letting your kids struggle when they don't need to, having them suffer to build character makes you a piece of shit. Letting your kid struggle when you can help, that's like the worst thing you can do. And you are wrong for not wanting to help. the thought of it is wrong and the action of it is worse. You are the asshole. I'm the asshole for not going inside Victoria's Secret with my girlfriend. I always go into the store and I wait in there. But if it's too hot, I will go outside, and that should be understandable for anyone. But just go with her, bro. Like, even if you want to go to a store that's just for you, you don't need to go when she does her own store. You can literally just go do her shit, and you guys can go do your shit together too. It's always better together. It's always better together. Somebody's feelings are gonna get hurt if you just split up because you're like, I don't give a fuck about your titty bra situation. You don't give a fuck about my GameStop stuff. Let's split up and meet back at the car. The mall isn't about efficiency. You're there to kick it with your girl, bro. Chill. You're the asshole. Am I the asshole for wanting separate sleeping assignments when a friend stays over? Always slept in the same bed, but now she lives with her boyfriend. No, you can't. Your homies can't sleep in the same bed as you when you live with your man. You're not the asshole, but also things change. Like, you're not 12 anymore. Sorry. But also, if the girl wants to, then yes. But she shouldn't feel bad if she doesn't want to, is what I'm saying. Am I the asshole for wanting MIL? What is MIL? My MIL. Oh, hey, yo, all right, let's turn this shit off because somebody's calling with a roommate story. Let's fucking go. Yo, what's up, man? Thanks for calling.
Judge Meatball, what's up, dog?
What's up, dog? How's it going?
It's going pretty well. Man, I saw your subjects in that, and I actually had a good one for this.
So exciting.
Yeah, long time no talk, though. Can you guess who this is?
Yeah, I know. I saw the screening, so it's not a fair game.
Oh, what a bummer.
Yeah, it's not a fair game.
What a bummer. That's all right. Yeah, it's not fair. Anyways, bro, I'm happy for what you're doing. I tuned in the other night.
Yeah, and thanks for watching, bro. I'm glad. We're working on this shit.
Yeah. No, of course. This is, I was actually telling my dad about this. This is something that could take off, so I'll support the best I can. And tonight, I think I got a good one.
Awesome.
So I've been to a few schools, right?
Right.
My freshman year, Arizona State, and then I transferred to a school in Colorado, and then I transferred to a school in Connecticut. People on the East Coast, a little weird. No offense if any of you guys are listening. But I had this roommate in Connecticut that, partying was new to him or whatever. And I remember we both brought a girl back, and this is like the first time for him. So he was ecstatic. And in the middle of the night, things on my side of the bedroom are going pretty well. And then things on his side, all of a sudden I hear kind of gurgling and then like an odor. And then the girl gets up and the light turns on and there's just vomit everywhere. And I'm just like, oh no, the poor guy had like 2 beers and like, lost his virginity to his, his stomach, essentially. And that's just the beginning. Then about a week later, he says to me, he goes, hey man, he goes, you know how most people wake up when you look at them? And I go, yeah. He goes, well, you don't.
Did it get like, that's already so weird. That's already so weird.
Right?
And then
that's what I'm saying.
So like you were obviously already like super freaked out, but then were you just like, what the fuck? Or he like kept getting weirder? Did you like bail right away or?
It kept getting weirder, and I was on the basketball team at the time, so I requested a move, And they were like, well, there's 14 players on the team, so everyone's already with someone, blah, blah, blah. But when so-and-so graduates, we can make a change. But for now, since you just transferred, you're stuck in your situation.
Rocking a hard place, bro. Weirdo in a hard place.
It was. And then this is where it gets the weirdest. So a few weeks after the vomit incident, he tells me I'm going to need some privacy because I've got the room to myself and I've got a hot date.
Sounds suspicious.
And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because, you know, he's in college, he's a freshman, he's exploring, whatever. And I had basketball practice, so I had to go to the room to get something. There was no way that I couldn't not get it. And when I get there,
Oh, you got me on the edge of my seat.
mattress.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. So my mattress is on top of his mattress. And he's on his knees with his little East Coast penis penetrating the mattresses.
Oh no, mattress girlfriend. When you said they were stacked up, I just thought he would be like on top of your mattress. I didn't think he was making a mattress lady.
Bro, he gave a whole new meaning to sleeping on Serta.
Fuck. That's so gnarly, bro. What the fuck? So now it's like a sexual weird thing. You can complain to the school at that point, right? Like, or is this guy on the basketball team too, or he's just a roommate?
No, he was on the hockey team, which wasn't even like really the hockey team. It was the hockey club. And he kept his shitty, smelly hockey gear in the room all the time. So anytime I brought a girl back, I'm just like, pardon the ass smell. It's my roommate.
God damn. So then what happened? Did you get him kicked out? Like, could you get him kicked out for that?
No, and to this day, him and I are actually somewhat close. And the funniest thing is his name is Chris Wagner. And
oh, that's so funny. That's so funny.
And after months, and yeah, it is. And months after all of these events took place, he developed a name around campus, Swagner. So when everyone saw him, they called him Swagner. And he thought it was because people thought he was cool. But it was actually all just to poke fun.
Oh, no. That sounds like a cool nickname. Like, it would feel good to hear that. Like, but yeah, that's so gnarly, bro. So it's also hilarious that you're like, we actually remain dear friends. Like, we're actually kind of close to this day. Like,
we are. He got me out of something. He jumped on the grenade for me a couple times.
Well, there you go. Like, if he's a wingman, that's utility. Like, he's at least useful.
Yeah, I mean, I call it jumping on the grenade. He called it the greatest night of his life.
Yeah, no. It wasn't bad for him. These are all good stories for him. He had a cool roommate. He liked to watch you sleep. He got to fuck your bed. Like, it was all good stories for him. He had a very positive outlook about the whole thing, probably.
Yeah, this is so true. But the day I walked in with the mattresses, he gave a whole new definition to sleeping on Serta.
Bro, so like, when, like, were you just like, all right, bro, you're actually kind of a good dude, but you got to stop watching me sleep. You got to stop fucking my stuff. Like, when you decided you were still going to keep this dude in your life, like, what did you like, wait, something's got to give. Like,
yeah. So, you know me for a long time. I don't like conflict. I'm kind of like a friend of the friendless kind of thing. There was a few weeks that I went and slept on someone else's couch, and I told them I just needed some space. But I went to a small private school, so we saw each other often. And eventually I was like, all right, man, like, I'll come back. He invited me to a hockey game. It was what it was. I went back. He supported basketball, so I thought, what the fuck? So I go back, and I remember, small arguments about, like, hey, man, I got practice at 5 in the morning. Can you please turn off Call of Duty or Zelda or whatever the fuck it is you're playing? And it was kind of like, it was always something. And I remember the worst thing about him too was just the amount of food that he ate that I would get. Like my parents would send me these care packages from California. He lives in Boston, 30 minutes away. My parents are sending packages 3,000 miles across the country, and he was just helping himself, you know.
Bro, when roommates are eating your shit, that's like like it can be something so small, but it can be like coming to blows like at any second. Like the smallest thing once they're eating your shit can set off any chain of events. Like it could be like a full-on fight.
Oh man. Especially like in the middle of the night when I was craving a scoop of peanut butter and then the whole jar that I just got yesterday is gone. Like, where does this guy put the Jif? Up his butt?
He's definitely not eting it. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
If precedent states anything, he's definitely wasn't eating it.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's something. That kid, Chris Swagner. But you know what? He actually is now happily married. To my knowledge, he's got a very good job in a hospital. And hopefully no longer vomits during sex.
I mean, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. He's doing all right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's so fucking. So did he ever find out that you guys were calling him that nickname as a joke? Last question. Did he? Because that always sounds crushing.
You know what? I don't think he did because I recently messaged him on Facebook. Because I saw the pictures of the wedding, and I said, "Congratulations, Swagner! Like, you know, you did it. Like, you did the impossible." And he goes, "I'm so blessed. She makes me like the happiest ever." And I'm just like, he's still not catching on.
Well, you know what? He's maybe gonna flip it. Like if he doesn't know, like he's actually getting the same benefits as if you guys were really calling him that because you liked him. You know what I mean? Like it exists in both states. You guys can make fun of him and he can feel good about it. Both can happen at the same time as long as he remains ignorant to it.
That's an incredible point, and that's why you're a judge, because you know what, you see how to make someone win from both sides.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. I'll allow it. Keep calling him that. He probably fucking loves it. If you stopped, he probably be like, they don't even call me Swagner anymore, bro. I lost it.
I know. Oh my God. Yeah, that would be too funny. Oh, what was the last thing that I had that I was going to add that he did? Oh, it's all right. I forget. I wish it would come back to me. Oh well,
it's all good, bro. You can throw it in a DM or come back to the chat or something if you remember later. It's all good.
Yeah. No, I'll have to listen for a few minutes. But man, I've had some roommates. I've had some weird ones. I did actually. This is interesting. I lived with a girl once, and I'll finish on this one because it was. I don't know if it was a joke. I don't know if it's a real thing. I actually to this day should probably do some research, but. This girl, it was me, Landon, if you remember Landon, and a girl. And we lived in an apartment in LA. And she lived in the loft, and she had a lot of plants. And one day, she brings up a trash can, and it's kind of trying to hide the trash from us because we're both sitting on the couch, goes up, and kind of starts smearing these things around her plants. Turns out that it was the collection of her menstrual cycles, claiming that the blood gives the plants like a better chance to live.
Bro, that's so fucking gnarly. So I like oh fuck. So like was it just also why wasn't she in her room when that was already, you know what I mean? Like if that was her plan, she could have just stayed up there. You know what I mean? You could have got completely out of the loop still.
Right, like, or she, if she was on the, if it's that time of the month, just squat above the plant for a few minutes.
Yeah,
like, you don't have to save them.
Fuck, that's so gnarly. So, like, was that like a breaking point where you just like, hey, you gotta move, or were you just like, you can stay, but maybe chill on that?
Is it weird if I say I thought it was kind of hot?
That's actually weirder than finding out about it initially. I think that is somehow the weirdest part of all of this.
Yeah, no, my lease ended a couple months later, and I left. Yeah,
it's funny you were just like, actually, I was really down with it. That actually just means, listen, here's what I'm hearing. Like, you're just a really accepting and positive dude. Like you can almost do anything, and you would not be like, you gotta fucking move out, bro. There's no last straw for you.
You know what? And thank you, bro, because at the end of the day, I've got my quirks. you know, I sit down to pee and like leave the door open.
Yo, I sit down to pee
you know,
too. I sit down to pee and I often leave the door open. So we're brothers on that one, bro.
Yeah, hell yeah, fist bump.
It's so funny you said you actually thought it was hot. You should have taken the fifth on that one, bro. Absolutely. Now you're guilty. Guess what? Now you're guilty.
I know. You're gonna have to hit the gavel on that one.
Well, thanks so much for calling, bro. And it was great to hear from you.
Oh my gosh, of course, bro. I'll keep tuning in on the nights that I have free time. And props to finding out that we are Eskimo brothers with the sitting on the toilet seat. Don't knock it till you try it.
No, absolutely. Standing up to pee is so overrated. It's fucking whack.
Oh man, yeah, and it makes such a mess. I find I have to clean my toilet like significantly less.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I still clean it, but it's not as dirty. I agree.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and tune in, and I'm gonna hear if anyone else has got some good stories. Because the roommate story, that's a good topic. I like that one.
Thank you, bro. I thought so. Everybody's had a few, bro, and none of them are good. Like none of them are good.
Yeah. Well, hopefully mine was all right. So
absolutely, bro. Thanks for calling.
Yeah. All right, brother. I'll pay attention for a little bit longer.
All right. Thanks. It's funny he just dropped that shit in at the end too. Like that was not why he called. That was almost not even gonna get brought up. And he was like, by the way, this girl I used to live with used to put period bloods in all her houseplants. And I kind of liked it. Like that was such, and he was like, all right, see you later. Like that was it. Like he it just goes to show that if you keep someone talking long enough, you'll get it out of them. Whatever's about, like whatever's right here on the surface and it wants to come up, it's coming out. You get up on this stand, it's hard to deal with. God damn it. Thanks a lot, Glennie. That's a fantastic story. Also, like, he's so nice. Like, even if I didn't know him, and like, you have to just think from that story, he's such a nice dude. Like, for you to have, first of all, if the roommate said, oh, a lot of people wake up when you watch them sleeping. Not you, though. Not you, bud. Like, that is enough. Love you too, man. Thanks for calling. That was just fantastic. Like, that would be enough to freak me out. Like, we'd be fighting after that. Like, or I would at minimum be like, quit fucking watching me, bro. Like, what the fuck? Do you know how weird that is? Like, at least I would let him have it. Like, do you know how fucking weird that is? Like, you're a good dude, but that's crazy. Doesn't sound like he did any of that. Like, he was like, yo, quit fucking my bed and my peanut butter, and we can still go out drinking tonight, and it's all good. He's just friendly to a fault. He just won't bail on you, bro. Go ahead and call in if anybody new watching has another roommate story. That was a great one to open it up. 540-583-4464. And they were roommates. Just a delight. What a call. It's not weird that he thought it was hot. People can be into whatever they're into. Guess what? When he said that weirdo he used to live with found a wife, and when that girl he lived with was doing that weird shit, and then he was into it like that, those two things tell the same story. There is fucking someone out there for anyone, and it's usually more than one person. Like any two people can pair up for any number of reasons. And no matter how fucking weird somebody is, there is not only someone weirder, but like someone who's into how weird they are. So like most people will link up. Lots of people die alone and nobody even wants to kiss them on the mouth. But most people, no matter how fucking strange they are, do find someone at least at some point. Doesn't always work out, but your paths will cross. And that's beautiful. That weird bedfucker dude found a wife. He has a kid. You know what I'm saying? That's beautiful. That's actually beautiful. What is MIL? I actually don't know what that means. I the asshole for what I said to my stepmom. I don't want to read all that. I an asshole for my wedding rules. I the asshole for leaving a birthday party after I scared a guest. You can leave at any time. I'm a metalhead and my wardrobe consists over yuck. I an asshole for naming my baby the same name as my. What is SIL? These are abbreviations that I do not know. It is not from Sublime, but I do love that song and Sublime, but and they were roommates is from a Vine. It's like a guy sitting on his stoop filming and a girl walks by talking on her headset and she's like, and they were roommates. And then he like flips the camera around and he goes, and they were roommates, like that. So it's from a Vine. But they were living in a single room with 3 other individuals. One of them was a male and the other two were females. God only knows what they were up to in there. 540-583-4464. Call in and tell me about your roommate stories, and I'm just going to keep doing Am I the Asshole until then while I roll and smoke this blunt. I guess I could find out what SIL means. What do SIL and MIL mean? Oh, son-in-law, mother-in-law. Okay. That makes sense. Reefers. The asshole for naming my baby is the same thing as my sister-in-law after she told me not to. Name your kid whatever you want, bro. Fuck your sister-in-law. Even if it was your sister, you could do it. Who gives a shit what your sister-in-law says? You can be an asshole to her all you want. In-laws, if childhood sitcoms taught me anything, it was that in-laws fucking suck. And guess what? I have in-laws and we don't even talk to them because they do fucking suck. So like, make them as mad as you can. Fuck her, and I hope you're not angry whenever you say your kid's name because they have the same name. I'm the asshole for telling my half-sister she was never entitled to anything my dad owned. Yes, that's her dad too. Wait, maybe it's not. I don't know. Wait, is it her mom? My dad died when I was 6. He wrote out a will where he left instructions that he wanted me to have after he was gone. All this shit sucks. You suck. You guys should have split the stuff or not. I don't care. Guess what? I've had a million family members die. No one has ever left an inheritance, and I'm sure most of them have actually left debts. So when I hear any of these little inheritance squabbles, I'm like, you can all fucking die. Except for the movie Knives Out, because I like that movie. The asshole for keeping my parents' wedding rings. My parents divorced when I was little, and my dad passed away when I was 16. After he died, my siblings and I took all the things from the house. Youngest of 7. God damn. I don't have. I'm not gonna read any of these stories for context. I am judging who is the asshole off the title alone. So you better phrase it carefully. That's what I could say. For telling my sister she didn't honor me when she named her daughter. You sound like an asshole. Yes. Am I an asshole for disinviting my sick grandmother to the wedding? No, she's about to die, and you are going to have to remember that shit for another 40 years. She can be mad about it for a couple months, and you can go around the rest of your life feeling fine. You don't owe dying people anything. You're going to be the one that is left here. So act accordingly. Don't do anything with a dying person. You don't want to be stuck with that memory because it doesn't matter to them what happens. Angry, mad, happy, sad. Like they're going to be dead in a few days. Who gives a shit? Sounds cold, but feelings wise, like fuck it. You worry about your own feelings. Is the judge an asshole? Hold on. Roommate stories. Dragon tales, dragon tales. Am I the asshole for not sending my kids to their stepdad's funeral? I mean, it's up to the kids. It shouldn't be up to you. If the kids want to go, they should be able to go. So if they wanted to go and you said no, then yes, you are the asshole. Am I the asshole for making my 30-year-old boyfriend, my 30-year-old female, wait, oh, she's 30, he's 29, lose his job? He worked from home for the same company, but he didn't know how to do the position he had. He faked his resume, and I believed I'd be able to help because it wasn't so bad. It turned out to be way more than what I thought the job would be. Well, first of all, you don't have to feel bad. If you can't do two jobs. If you were gonna help him and then you couldn't, you did your best. With both jobs and our baby, this will sleeping in hella late. That's fucked up. No, he's the asshole. Get him fired. I mean, you shouldn't get him fired on purpose because you need both incomes. You personally are depending on both incomes for your kid. But also, you should have just stopped doing his job and kept collecting the paycheck until he eventually got fired. You didn't have to blow it up yourself because you needed to milk the money a little bit longer. Like, you could have kept doing your job well and doing his job poorly as long as possible till he got fired. You didn't have to make him lose his job. But it's also not your fault. It's his fault. It just wasn't played out as smart as possible by you since you also needed that fucking money. Am I the asshole for asking my neighbor to stop walking their dogs on our lawn? No, I mean, even dog piss alone can fuck up lawn. So if you take care of it, if you take pride in this lawn and work on it and don't want them to go on it, sure. If you don't really give a fuck about your yard and you're just complaining to complain, then fuck you. And again, I will not read the rest of the story for context. That the title alone lets me know that all this, right? No, we didn't need to hear that much. Maybe one or two more sentences to clarify. If you need to write this much, it's because you're the asshole and you're trying to explain. Am I the asshole for not telling a friend that her wedding dress is the same pattern as my bedding? No, if she likes an ugly wedding dress, that's on her. Also, the design could look cool on a dress and maybe you have shitty bedding. Also, they're not related to each other. She's not getting married in your bedroom, so just shut the fuck up and let her wear her dress. You're not the asshole. Well, you didn't tell her. You didn't tell her. So you're fine. And the answer is just no, you're not an asshole. So I'm sorry I got aggressive. Last couple roommate stories. I only have a couple more of these in me, I swear to God. I'm the asshole for not wanting to make my future brother-in-law a groomsman. Weddings are fucking stupid, and any number of issues like this can cause so much drama for some shit that nobody involved even wants to do. He doesn't even want to be a groomsman. He just wants you to want him to be a groomsman. You don't even want to have the wedding. Your girl does. Like, everyone involved doesn't even want to do this shit. So don't feel bad about it. You did him a favor. Now he can pretend to be mad and he doesn't have to go to the wedding. Like, I'm the asshole for getting scholarship for my girlfriend's son and not my niece. No, it's not your money. You're trying to scheme for whoever. You can only scheme so many times. Schemes aren't guaranteed. So if you got it for one person and not the other one, then fuck it. I'm the asshole for saying no to something I was never asked to do. Without context, yes. Just shut the fuck up about Am I the asshole for being upset with my fiance's stepmom insists on bringing all the children on their side of the family to our child-free wedding? Yes, just tell that bitch not to come. It's kind of bullshit. It's not. If you want to have a child-free wedding, have a child-free wedding. If you have kids and you want to go, find a sitter. If you can't find a sitter, you don't get to go. I have kids. I have 3 kids and don't let anyone watch them. So when I want to go somewhere kids can't go, I go by myself or I don't fucking go. And that's what happens when you have a bunch of kids. You don't get to just take them to kid-free places just because you want to. That's not how it works. Man, shout out to the homie Glenn. What a great call. Still thinking about it. Still thinking about your call, Glenn. Go ahead and bring in another one. Do you have a story that is comparable to your roommate fucking your mattress or peanut butter? 540-583-4464. Give me a call and tell me about it. The asshole. What the fuck? Wibbit. What is better? I don't know what that could even stand for. Am I the asshole? And if you ask her to be the flower girl, you can't switch up on that later. It's a little kid and she's excited about doing that. So once that she's decided that, then yes, you're an asshole for changing. Am I the asshole for letting my son spend $500 freely against his mom's wishes? No. Kids love to waste money. And if he's old enough to try to learn a lesson from that, good. And if not, just let him waste it and have fun anyways. Like, either way, it's useful. Like, I got a stem through this blunt immediately. It's basically broken now. But that's okay. Let the kid fucking spend the money. But also, I wouldn't do it just because I don't want to fight with my wife. Like, I like to let my kids do whatever, but not at the cost of fighting with my wife. So, am I the asshole for making a big deal about my roommate's service dog? Yes, you have a fucking disabled roommate, or I don't know what the correct nomenclature is, so please excuse me. But, so if they need a support animal and you are an asshole in any way about that, you are an asshole. If it's like one of these fake service dog scenarios where they just want to bring this fool into Target, then fuck them. But if this fool needs a service animal and you're bitter about that, then move. Like, you move, not them. Am I the asshole for telling my son's father his wife's insecurities are not my problem? How old's the kid? 8 years old? Guess what? They're not involved in this divorce other than that you're not taking care of them right. So you shouldn't tell them anything, bro. Anything. See you later, bro. I'm probably about to wrap this shit up too if nobody calls. I don't have a topic picked out for Wednesday, but we are going to do another part 2. We're going to bring back another topic. So that'll be where we're at with that. Join the Discord and I will put the topic in there. Or follow me on Instagram. Great Uncle Meatball. Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and a bunch of other places. Almost everywhere, Great Uncle Meatball, except for on Twitter, it's Judge Meatball. So give me a follow. I will announce the topics for Wednesday. For the love of Christ, if you're watching and didn't call today, please call on Wednesday. Please. We shouldn't be getting less calls than in the first few episodes. That shouldn't be how it was working. It shouldn't be going backwards, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm going to pick a good topic and we're going to do it. Stealing is my favorite topic. So we could do stealing. Fuck, what was the one that Glenn said? Parent stories. That's a good one too. I don't know if I'm ready to do that yet. Reasons why you got fired, first date. And that's it. We'll do another part 2. We'll figure it out. So thanks for watching. Thanks for calling. And I will see you fools on Wednesday with another topic, and we'll get some calls in. No big deal. I'm not tripping. We still had a good time. Thanks for calling if you called, Drew and Glenn. Thanks for watching if you watched. Otherwise, and I'll see you guys Wednesday evening. Court is adjourned.